The pristine valleys of Indian-controlled Kashmir were scarred by violence on April 22, 2025. A horrific attack targeting tourists left 26 innocent lives extinguished. India pointed the finger squarely at Pakistan, alleging its neighbor's hand in the massacre. The attack sent shockwaves through India, igniting public outrage and demands for a decisive response. The Indian government, facing immense pressure, authorized Operation Sindoor. This military operation aimed to strike back at terrorist infrastructure within Pakistan and Pakistan-administered Kashmir. Tensions between the two nuclear-armed neighbors, always simmering beneath the surface, reached a boiling point. The world watched with bated breath, fearing a catastrophic escalation. India, determined to display its military prowess and send a clear message of deterrence, unleashed a wave of targeted strikes against suspected terrorist camps. What distinguished Operation Sindoor from previous confrontations was India's strategic deployment of advanced drone technology. The world took notice as India's drones, guided by sophisticated electronic warfare capabilities, effectively neutralized Pakistani drones and struck key targets with precision. Operation Sindoor marked a turning point in South Asian warfare, showcasing the growing potency and significance of unmanned aerial vehicles in modern conflict. The roar of fighter jets and the thunder of artillery fire have long been the soundtrack of conflict between India and Pakistan. However, Operation Sindoor signaled a paradigm shift. Drones took center stage, redefining the battle space and showcasing a new era of warfare. India's drone fleet, a potent mix of indigenously developed and imported platforms, demonstrated remarkable capabilities. Armed with precision-guided munitions, these unmanned aerial vehicles carried out surgical strikes against alleged terrorist hideouts, training facilities, and logistical hubs. The effectiveness of India's drone operations was amplified by its mastery of electronic warfare. Indian forces successfully jammed Pakistani radar systems, blinding their air defenses and creating a window of opportunity for their drones to operate with impunity. Pakistan, caught off guard by India's technological prowess in the realm of drone warfare, struggled to counter these aerial assaults. Their attempts to retaliate with their own drone fleet were met with failure, as Indian electronic warfare systems effectively neutralized their unmanned adversaries. The success of India's drone strategy in Operation Sindoor sent a clear message to the international community. India had arrived as a formidable drone power. As Operation Sindoor raged, the spectre of a wider conflict loomed large. The international community, acutely aware of the devastating consequences of a full-blown war between two nuclear-armed nations, scrambled to avert disaster. The United States, recognizing the urgency of the situation, stepped in to mediate a ceasefire. President Trump, along with Vice President Vance and Secretary of State Rubio, engaged in frantic diplomatic efforts, urging both sides to step back from the brink. After 4 days of intense fighting, a ceasefire agreement was reached on May 10, 2025. The announcement of a ceasefire brought a collective sigh of relief across the globe. However, the truce proved to be fragile from the outset. Within hours, reports emerged of explosions and artillery fire along the line of control, the de facto border dividing Indian and Pakistan-administered Kashmir. Both sides accused each other of violating the ceasefire, casting a pall over the prospects for a lasting peace. The international community, while welcoming the ceasefire, expressed deep concern over the violations and urged both sides to exercise restraint. While Operation Sindoor showcased India's military capabilities, particularly in the realm of drone warfare, the conflict exacted a heavy toll on innocent lives. The civilian death toll from the fighting reached a grim milestone, with both sides suffering casualties. Homes were reduced to rubble and livelihoods were shattered. The suspension of the Indus Water Treaty, a vital agreement governing water sharing between India and Pakistan, further exacerbated tensions. The treaty, considered a cornerstone of stability in the region, was put on hold amidst the escalating hostilities, raising concerns about water scarcity and its potential to fuel further conflict. Despite the fragile ceasefire and the deep mistrust that continues to plague India-Pakistan relations, both sides have agreed to engage in future talks. These talks, scheduled to take place at a neutral venue, aim to address the root causes of the conflict and explore avenues for a more sustainable peace. The international community, recognizing the importance of dialogue and diplomacy, has pledged its support for these efforts. The road ahead remains fraught with challenges. However, the pursuit of peace, however elusive it may seem, must continue.